Was there a civilization that was more advanced than we are, that was destroyed few hundred years ago by mud floods? Let's explore.
Welcome to Stonehenge. This video is not for you if you are content with modern living. You think there was no great civilization in the past and you do not like your morning coffee. So enjoy watching. The mystery of Tartaria, the great civilization that was 200 years ago. At least some people say so. We are investigating buildings and admiring them and wondering why in modern times no one builds such beautiful houses as in the old towns. So we are entering Tallinn's Old Town, and on this very moment we are in the Baltic train station. So it's a great Vauxhall, and this place is quite bleak and I must say horrible. Although I love some stonework, but when you come here you do not feel elevated. That's what we are looking for in the buildings, the elevation, the sense of serenity. Beautiful architecture, this pure sound. But here you can see this tunnel, the creation of our modern times. What has happened with human civilization? Here we are narrowing to a fountain, and there are some old city walls. Did you know in the past those walls were plastered and they were yellow, white, glowing, beautiful? But nowadays we have this imagination that old castles and cities are grey, only the stone that we see. It's a beautiful stone building. Imagine someone building it in the modern times. And here you can see that this wall is plastered and beautiful, and the other wall, it shows the pure stone, the pure rock. But in the past, the castles were also plastered or hard or lime washed. Some stones are paramagnetic in their nature and other diamagnetic. And it is said that in the times of Tartaria, they harnessed the atmospheric free energy. You can see the beautiful tower scape. Yes, they were also city walls used for defending. But the legend of Tartaria tells that 200 years ago there were great mud floods that annihilated most of the world's population. Someone has ruined the wall because it has cement over it. It will crumble the limestone quite soon. Tourists who quite often come here, they say that they feel kind of a radiation or sensations of upliftment while they are here in this old town. And I know why, because here's a lot of stones, and stones are devices of radiation, so they are radiating small amounts of nuclear energy used in a way of a peasant. Imagine people living in such beautiful place. Architecture is music. But nowadays we prefer something else, something that is not that mystical and that is more like mundane experience of reality. Sadly, look at this facade. I love that everything is stylized in a unified manner. Just a beautiful, beautiful facade of a house. And in times of Tartaria, people used to harness energy from the churches like this one. It used to be the tallest building in Europe. Although I'm a big fan of cars, those cars just do not fit those facades over here. The city is so much more beautiful without the cars. During the Soviet times, in the camps of Siberia, The people who knew about Tartaria, who had the memory of the old world, were killed.
Here we are exploring another energy tower, as you can see.
And also the Jewish genocide and the Armenian genocide. It is said that they all were actually the erasing of memory from the people who lived in the times of Tartaria. But I'm not against modern architecture if you're able to repurpose the old buildings and create something beautiful. But if you're creating just boxes, then it's another topic.
Here's some creative spaces, the expressive people who call themselves creatives have taken over old buildings and made some graffiti and small businesses over here.
So this place is filled with hipsters who are trying to reimagine and recreate the modern cityscapes, the way how we consume and behave. But a lot of our memory was erased. In the last century, the genocide by Mao Zedong, by Stalin, the Armenian genocide, the Jewish genocide, it was all orchestrated around the world to destroy all the people who had the memory of the ancient civilization or the quite recent civilization of Tartaria. So this is the theory. Let me know, what do you know about it? What do you think about the theory of Tartaria? And see you soon. And please subscribe. The main question is not about did Tartaria exist or not, but how we as humans can live as a cohesive society full of peace and love, like Ringo Starr has said. How can we nurture life that is full of miracles and creativity, that we are able to nourish a beauty, to see beauty all around us, and to live with harmony to nature and to other people. During the 60s, 50s, in the Soviet times, we fell into the realms of monumental architecture. It does not have so many curves and beauty as a classical architecture, but there is something monumental about it. Of course, the modern culture centers around the world, we can discover again the music in architecture, the music in our creations, and music in our expression. During the 40s, 30s, there were systematic burning of the books because people were removing the memory of the past times, and they created a new culture. I had this man in my podcast who told stories about massive cloning of people in the beginning of the 20th century. That's so crazy story that he told, but maybe that is true. I do not know. I'm just speculating, and I'm speculating about the burning of the old knowledge. They say that in the archives of Vatican, there are all the knowledge that has ever been in this world preserved, but hidden from the general public like you and me. Is it a conspiracy or is it the truth? Tell me in the comments. One thing that makes me question everything is the history. How did the people have so many wars when they had all this time to build magnificent buildings, to do magnificent stonework? It consumes so much time. You cannot be in a war in every 10 or 5 or 15 years.